All right, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm basically going to be getting in here and seeing what's wrong with the air conditioning on this car. Um, Last year, basically after I got it up and running, I got in here and put a belt on it and, tossed a can of Freon in there. But, after a little while, it started making a squealing noise. So, um, after a little while, I just decided to, go ahead and shut it off and, never really messed with it again. But, after, driving it, since then, it tossed the belt off of the compressor. And yeah, so basically, I'm going to get in here and figure out, um, if possibly the compressor's bad, the clutch is bad, or maybe I might be able to get in there and adjust the clutch in. Uh, but but yeah, we'll go ahead and get started on that. All right. Basically, to get down in there to get that belt put on that AC compressor, you've got to uh, come in here and take off the power steering belt. And yeah, basically, to get that power steering belt off, uh, you've got um you've got one bolt that runs right there. You got to get a wrench on that nut out there, and then the bolt runs, through this bracket housing, whatever you want to call it. And you got to get a ratchet back over here on the back side, and then you've got two other bolts right there. Um, there's one, and then there's another one just right down there below it that, yeah, right there. So you got to get a wrench down here on these, two nuts, and then the bolts, run back up in through the housing here, and you got to get your ratchet on the back side of those bolts. And you don't have to take them clear out, just get in there and loosen them up. And then basically right here, that bolt is what adjusts the tension on the belt. So we'll get those bolts loosened up and get this adjusted down to where we can get that belt off, and then we can see about getting the belt put on that compressor. So yeah, we'll get I'll get started on that. All right, well, there you have it. That belt comes off of there, fairly easy. I had to use a longer extension to get in to these two bolts over here, but after I cleaned this thing up, in that previous video, it just makes everything so much easier to to get in here to work on. But yeah, now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack the car up because that AC compressor is clear down on the bottom here, and I'm going to jack the car up and get at it, basically that way, just to make it a little bit easier. So yeah, I'll get this thing jacked up and reposition the camera, and I'll be back. All right. Basically, to get this compressor loosened up, you've got 3 bolts on it. One of them you can see uh, pretty much right there. And now there's also another one pretty much just right down there below it. And then you have another one right back out here on the outside, right there. And then your adjuster to, basically loosen everything up is just right here on this bolt. So yeah, I really couldn't get a good angle to, basically show you underneath how, to get those bolts undone. But, you can see them, fairly easily from the top if you know, kind of what you're looking for right there. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get those loosened up and toss that belt on it, and I might show you, how to tighten it up and stuff like that. But all right, here we go. All right, I just went ahead and got that bolt, that adjusting bolt loosened up, off camera, but basically you can kind of see it right there. I just got in there with my socket and ratchet and, backed it out, quite a ways, just so that, it'll, kind of freely move and give me enough room to get that belt slid on. But one thing that I did want to show you, if you've never put on, belts, that go on these older, any older vehicle, right down in here, you can see that's your crankshaft pulley. And now you can see these other 2 belts, that are, right there. Those go down to the alternator, but these other 2 spaces on this crank pulley, that's what drives, your AC compressor and your power steering. Now, the one furthest out there, that's what drives your power steering pump. And the one just right there to the right of it, that's what drives your AC compressor. Now, you can take and look right here, this is the power steering pump, but if you look at the pulley, you can see that pulley right there lines up with that one, furthest to the outside. Now, some people probably, know about this, but, if you're kind of new to, working on vehicles, especially on something with, these older V-belts, that might be something that you don't know. That's basically just, kind of what I'm here for, is to show you, stuff like this that you might not know. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get that AC compressor belt put on. It'll have to go on first because, it sits in behind this, power steering pulley. And, that's the reason why I had to take it off, is to get that other belt put on. But yeah, I'll go ahead and, get that belt put on there and, get it all tightened up. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, well, I got the both of the belts put back on there and got them, tightened up and, everything like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and start it up and turn the air conditioner on and see what it does. right. I don't know if you can hear me that well, but this thermometer here, that thing was sitting at almost right at 90 degrees whenever I first put it here in the vent. And yeah, you can see that it's, you know, dropped down to almost 70. See if we can get that cleared up a little bit better to see it. But yeah, for some odd reason, it's, you know, it's not making any, that compressor's not making any noise anymore. And, you know, this air coming out, you know, is pretty cool. You know, I'm going to leave it in here for a little bit, and we'll see just how cold it does get. All right, you know, I took it out on the highway, and you can kind of see right there, it's running about 60 degrees coming out of the vent. And, you know, I think it could stand to be just a little bit cooler. You know, it's cool in here, but, you know, I'm going to get another can of 134 and, you know, put into it and see if I can just get it to drop, you know, any more. All right. Basically, you know, I got in here and, you know, got the belts put on it, and, you know, I tossed a can of, you know, Freon into the system, and, you know, I took it out, you know, for a little bit of a drive. And, you know, the AC system, you know, coming out of the vents in the car, you know, it got it down to about 60 degrees, which, you know, you see it in the video. But, you know, I didn't really show you how, you know, I got, you know, the refrigerant put into the system. If you look right here, this is your low pressure port, you know, on your AC lines. And that is basically, you know, if you go up to like an auto parts store and get, you know, one of those charge up cans, that right there is pretty much where you want to, you know, hook it up to. And now you've got, you know, this low pressure side, and then you've also got your high pressure side. Now this is up, you know, right here at the front of the car. And those cans that you can get, you know, at auto parts stores or, you know, Walmart, wherever, they will not hook into this high pressure side, just because, you know, you can't fill up, you know, your air conditioning system on the high pressure side. It just doesn't work that way. So basically, you know, you just want to hook up, you know, the can and, you know, right there to the low pressure side port, which, you know, like I said, you know, it's the only one that those type of cans will hook into. And basically, you know, just empty the contents of the can into it. And, you know, I'm probably going to end up having to get another can of it and, you know, put it in there because, you know, 60 degrees is, you know, pretty cool. I mean, it, you know, it gets it cold, but, you know, a lot of AC systems, you know, especially on like my C55 out there, that thing will put it out at like 40 degrees. And, you know, that's pretty cold. You know, but yeah, basically, you know, that's pretty much, you know, how you kind of do that. And if you've got any questions, you know, just put them down into the comments, and you know, I'll try to answer them, you know, as best I can. But yeah, you know, if you like, you know, videos like this, you know, give me a like on them, and you know, consider subscribing to my channel. But you know, I've got, you know, like I've said, you know, I've got plenty more work to do on this thing. So yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.